Okay, so let's configure branch cache in distributed mode in this video. In the last video, we talked about branch cache and also we prepared a little the infrastructure for it, and now we can start and really use it and see how it works. So for starters, I'm on DC01 and I want to make some further preparations for what we will do in this video, because we have to configure the central branch cache server, which is called also the content server, and we also have to prepare the clients with the group policy. So first of all, to prepare the clients, I want first to make an organizational unit also for them, so we can assign a group policy only to those clients. Under test corp, let's make a new organizational unit and call it computers. And under computers I want to also separate the ones that are in the branch office, just in case we want to do something extra in the future. So we make an OU called branch, and I want to move the free computers to branch. Move in test corp computers branch. Excellent. So at least from an AD standpoint we are done. And we are going to configure branch cache with PowerShell, because we have all the commandlets available in PowerShell, and why not? So let's connect to our branch cache server. Excellent, we are connected, and you see in my script that I have already all the steps outlined. First we have, of course, to install the branch cache role, and after that, since we can use branch cache with web servers or with file servers with SMB, for both of them there is a separate feature that we should install. And I will be using only SMB in this video, so we install FS branch cache feature. So then I think we can run both of them. Let's see. Okay, so it's done. The two features are installed. Actually, the role and the feature. Now, in order to use branch cache with SMB, of course, we need to have a file share. So first we need to create a folder, very simple name, cache data 1, and then we need to share the folder and specify that the caching mode is branch cache for this share. So on this server now, the cache data 1 share is branch cache enabled. If we create now another share without the caching mode, it will be a normal share. In case on a specific server we want all shares to be branch cache enabled, we can also configure a group policy object for that server. But for all intents and purposes, for this video, this share uses branch cache and it's enough for us to test. Now before going further, I want to put some files in this share. And don't forget, branch cache has to have, in order to use it, it has to have files bigger than 64K. So let's see. We can copy on BCM01 something from the installation disk, maybe, of okay, so we have a couple of stuff. Let's copy some files in our case. So we want to copy them to BCM01 cache data 1. No, it's read only. Okay, no problem. We go to $C as administrator, and now we copy the files. Okay, so we have the share populated. Now we have to configure a group policy object for the clients. This is very important because we have to enable BranchCache on the clients, configure BranchCache on the clients, and open up some firewall rules on the client. Group policy management. And under computers branch, let's create and also link a new group policy object. BranchCache clients, and let's edit this group policy. And I hope I can remember all the parts. So it should be in policies, administrative templates, in network, BranchCache, and here we have a couple of things to do. First, of course, is turn on BranchCache. We just have to turn it on. This is the basic thing. And of course, we will have to make some more stuff after that, some more settings. Now we need, of course, to set BranchCache in distributed cache mode, because we use distributed mode. And usually I guess you will not need this setting, but for our environment it's very helpful. We can also turn on this setting, which will switch the client to hosted mode in case it discovers a hosted server on its network. And for us it's perfect because we will be using such a thing in the next video. So then we enable also this. Great. And one last thing I want to do, if you remember, I told you that BranchCache also works based on the latency of the network. In case the latency is smaller than 80 milliseconds, then BranchCache will not be used. And for our test environment, I'm pretty sure it will be. So let's set the latency to 0 so that BranchCache is used all the time. Excellent. And other things we don't need. Okay, so this was turning on and configuring BranchCache. Now we also have to configure the firewall settings. Windows settings, security, firewall, and let's set some inbound rules. New rule, and this will be a predefined rule because it already exists. We just have to turn it on. And we need two such rules. We need first the peer discovery, so that clients can discover themselves and content servers. Okay, allow connection. And we also need to enable content retrieval, of course, to get content from other clients or servers. So this was also the firewall done. Okay, we are done with the group policy part. And I will also wrote here how to make the tests, which we will see in a moment. But first I want to show you a cool command that will show you the overall status of BranchCache on clients, on servers, on anything. It will show us a lot of information, different categories of information, which depending on what you are connected to can explain how the client is, how the server is, and so on. So the first is just showing us the service status, how if it's enabled, if it's running, how it's set. Now since we are on the server, we do not have any client configuration, of course. This is a central branch cache server, so it's a content server. This is how it's called in the branch cache lingo. This is not a hosted server, and we will not use such a server in this video. We use distributed mode here. This part shows us all the networking settings, like the firewall rules, for example. Hash cache. Branch cache makes hashes of the files that we have in the branch cache enabled shares, and this part shows us the hashes, how much they occupy and where they are stored, and also the data cache, so how much data is actually in the branch cache store in the share. And now this is cool. When we start to use branch cache, we will also see on the clients and on the server the current active cache size, which now is 0 because we are not copying any data. And all of these parts can also be seen individually by the commands that I put under it, which we do not have to run. We saw already all the information. Let's jump to one of the clients and start copying data. Okay, I'm on C01 on the first client. Let's first connect to the share. Okay, I'm connected now to the share, and let's open, I want to show you how to also see when branch cache is used. So we are going to open the performance monitor. And basically we will be searching for two things. So click on performance monitor, and I want to see the data as a report, not as a line or a histogram. It will be much easier. Right click. Let's add some counters. And for branch cache, it's very nice because the counters are actually put together in a branch cache subcategory. And the most important thing that we can see is SMB, bytes from cache, and bytes from server. Put these two bits. No, I don't need it. So these two. For now, nothing, of course. And as I told you, the first two clients will get the file from the server, and I'm hoping the third one will get it from the other cache clients. I hope I don't need a fourth one, but let's see. So let's say that I want to copy these two files. Okay, I want to copy them on the desktop. We configured the group policy, but you know what we did not do? We did not apply it. GP update. Force. And I hope I don't need a restart, but we will see. Actually, it's easy to see. We just have to run the get BC status command and see how this client is now configured. So branch cache service is stopped and is set to manual, but branch cache is enabled. So I guess on clients you need maybe a restart, or you need to configure the service, which I did not know. It seems that the client is put in distributed mode, which is great. And we have also auto discovery of hosts. So the group policy has been applied. Let's restart it, and it seems now also the event monitor is working. Maybe we just need to also set the service. It's actually running now, so it took a little more to get running. So BranchCache now should be working. Let's try again and copy a file. Copy, put it on the desktop. Okay, SMB bytes from server, it worked. So this client now has this first DLL in its cache, and we should be able to see this. Data cache, current active cache size, because this is the only one. Okay, and current size on disk, this is the size that is on disk, the exact size of the cache. And also you see that hashes have been calculated for our branch cache, so everything seems to be working. Let's copy another file, let's say the next one. Okay, now this has grown. So let's move on to client 2. And on client 2 I want also to open the performance monitor. Let's make it also that it shows us the actual numbers, and add the 2 counters. This time we only add the SMB because now I'm sure it's how it works. Okay, add SMB. Great, it's not enabled yet as we saw also on the other client, so let's apply the group policy. Group policy has been applied. Let's get the status. So okay, it seems that the service takes a little to start when you configure it and you don't restart the client directly. But again, everything is now configured. The firewall rules are okay. The hosted cache discovery is true. Distributed cache is the setting. Okay, looks good. And I think the service is started because now we see a counter here. So let's copy the same files. Okay. And already since I pressed copy, it already started to work. And it's interesting, it seems we got some things from cache and just a little from the server, which I did not expect, but nice to know. Let's see how it does if I copy another file. So this one was taken from the server. Nice. Let's try now the third client, and these 2 files I'm expecting that they will be downloaded only from cache. So we are on the third client, and again first I want to apply the group policy. GP update force. And also open up the performance monitor. Again, switch it to report and add the 2 counters that we are looking for. Come on, branch cache. And we only need SMB from server and from cache. And the counter is already started. Let's move it a little to the right. Okay. VCM01 cache data. So now the two files have been downloaded from the cache, and what you see here is, like I discussed in the previous video about BranchCache, this is only the metadata about the two files. So it seems that on the third client it's working, and I'm expecting that this file will be retrieved actually from the server, I think. Let's see. No, so it seems also this file, we only have it on one client, but it was downloaded also from the cache, so in the local network. Now you can extrapolate, maybe you have more bigger files or more files in general, but you see that this is very nice. Now, since we have these 3 clients, files can be downloaded. Maybe if we have 10 more clients, now they will get the files locally. And the way BranchCache works, if on the server one of these files will suffer, something will be modified, then the clients will download again from the server the new version, and so on. So you will always have the newest version of the file. Okay, so in the next video I want to go how to configure a hosted cache server and how to configure hosted mode. So stay tuned. If you like the video, like and share, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and see you in the next one.